Passage program started back in 2009, at the very end of 2009. We had talked about starting a program where we would help patients and families in the final hours. Many people fear dying alone and dying in pain, and so hospice does an amazing job of making sure that someone doesn't die in pain, whether it's physical pain, spiritual pain, emotional pain. But we thought we wanted to add something extra to our services, and having volunteers who could go out and actually be with them in the final hours would help in those situations where a patient might be dying alone, or a family just needed some extra support. So we talked about it, and many volunteers were actually very interested in starting this program. So we did a training and had 30 people show up, and many of them said, "Call me day or night." We're very passionate about doing it, and it's just grown ever since.
I think the one thing that we've been able to accomplish through our program is to give our volunteers an opportunity to have ownership in it. And we have a wonderful training program for them, and they have a tremendous commitment from the heart for that program. And combining those two areas, the education and their commitment, they've been able to actually take that program forward, coordinate it, and make it happen for our patients and families. And I really am proud of the volunteers for doing that, and so appreciative of Eileen and her ability to let people, giving them the opportunity to do what they do well.
It is my privilege to be able to help to train the Passages volunteers. I have been in hospice for 15 years, and I really, truly understand and believe in my heart how important volunteers are. This particular program, I think, goes above and beyond anything that we've ever thought of for volunteers in the past. And this Passages program is very, very, very important in helping our families and patients through what they must go through at the end of life.
I think our Passages volunteers make a huge impact on the family. They really make our hospice look good because they are there at the end of life, and they're a real calming effect, and they're not necessarily a real clinician, so the families really receive them well because they see them as really more of a peer than a nurse or a doctor or the social worker or chaplain coming in for a purpose. But they're really there to actually provide that support, that hand-holding at the end. And it's really a unique group of people, and they're just an awesome group of people.
We have such a variety of volunteers from all walks of life, all different backgrounds, old, young, and I think we're so unique in the sense that we have so many different kinds of people. And I find in my job coordinating them that somehow the right person ends up with the right family in some amazing way. And so I think having that variety of volunteers that can help people in different ways, it just seems to work. And I think that's why this program just worked. I'll admit I was really nervous when we first talked about starting this program, because I thought, well, who's going to want to do that? You know, I have wonderful volunteers, but how many people are really going to want to sit and put themselves into a family's home in those final hours and be with them? And I was just amazed, the response. And when I looked back, I thought, well, what was I so scared of? You know, we have these incredible people that have gone out and done amazing things for these families and these patients, and really touched their lives, and it's really touched their own lives too.
I think when you have staff and volunteers working together where the patient and the family are benefiting, it's a win-win, and it's a beautiful, beautiful program that we can offer.
I always knew that someone from the Passage program would be there, but I would come at different times, and it seemed like no matter how late I came, somebody was always there. If I came early, someone was there. And then there was like a changing of the guards when one was there and the other would come. And then they would like talk about what went on and to brief one another and to introduce themselves. And the people from the care facility knew who the staff from the Passage program was, which I thought was just so great, and they would assist any way they could to help out, you know, so that Clara would get the best, you know, that could be given to her. And I just, oh man, I just appreciated that so much.
It is the most awesome experience for me as an individual to be able to walk into a home and give comfort to the patient and also to the family, and for them to know that I'm there for them if they have questions, if they have concerns. I'm there to help them. If we run into a difficult problem that I can't handle, I know that the BJC support system is out there and I can call them. It is truly one of the most rewarding jobs I have ever encountered.
I think of one example of this gentleman who was an elderly man who knew that he couldn't drive at night, but he didn't want to leave his wife. And so he had to leave by about 7 o'clock each night to drive home. And so we would have a volunteer go in and stay with her during the night. And it just comforted him so much. And I remember that volunteer saying, you know, what's one night? What's one night for me to lose some sleep to help this person know that someone's with his wife?
It makes me feel good to know that Clara was not alone during her final days, because there were times when I could not be there, but I could rest assured that somebody was there. And then to put myself in the same situation, I wouldn't want to be by myself. And even if my family couldn't be there, I may know that it was reasons why they could not. But just to know that somebody was there, and not only that they were there, but they genuinely cared. And I know if Clara could say anything, she would just say thank you 1,000,000 times.
When my time comes, I hope that I can go into hospice and then go into Passage. It's a remarkable service.
I was thrilled when I was told that our Passages program received the Program of the Year award from the Missouri Hospice and Palliative Care Association. And I was thrilled because it was an opportunity for our volunteers to be recognized for all the wonderful passion and compassion that they've had for our patients and families. And this is such a great way to say thank you to them for making this program possible for our patients and families.
When I found out we won the award, I jumped up and down. I was so excited to find out we won this award because this program means so much to us, and it means so much to us because it means so much to the families. And so I know there's so many amazing programs throughout Missouri, and so I was really humbled that they picked us. But so excited, and I instantly emailed all my volunteers and called them and said, guess what? Because it just meant so much to me, and I know it meant so much to them to be recognized for something like this.